All right, Keith, thanks so much for taking some time today to talk with me. Really an honor and a pleasure to be working with you and the entire Westminster team on this just important CIO search for the school. We'll get to all that in a bit, but want to just begin by having you tell me a bit about your background and what drew you to the school.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Gabe. I had a very kind of classic beginning in that I was a full-time teacher and coach, eventually found my way into some administrative roles and then became the head of collegiate school in Richmond in 1999. And was there for about 15 years and really happy being there. Loved that school and loved Richmond and I'd only ever thought in the back of my mind that if ever I was going to leave, the only place I might consider is Westminster. And sure enough, that's the phone call I get. And so I came here in 2014. So this is the end of my 12th year. And we have really loved it. My whole family has loved it. The my both of my grown children have migrated to Atlanta. One of them's gotten married in Atlanta. My sister-in-law and her husband moved here, and my sister and my brother are both here. So we feel very at home in Atlanta and have had a great 12 years.
Well, and I feel at home every time I come to the school. I've been there a few times. It is just a wonderful campus, a warm community, a big campus, a big
Yeah.
community. So I would imagine quite a few viewers do know a bit about the school, but it's possible some have never been to Westminster. If you don't mind, just kind of walk people through the metaphorical grounds a bit, or just talk a bit about the school's culture, community,
Yeah.
and identity.
Yeah, well, let me start, up sort of at drone level and work my way down. We as you said, we are a very scaled up school, 1,890 kids, and a very large campus, 185 acres, in a very large city of 7, 8 million people or so in the metro area. So in that way, I think Westminster has a lot of unique qualities, but in terms of a school, of that size inside of a city of that size, I'm not sure there are any, and if there are any, there's not many that are quite at that scale and with that sort of access to those kinds of resources really right at its front door. So we really imagine ourselves and try to live out daily that we're a school for Atlanta. We are not a neighborhood school. We're not a school that serves just one part of the city or another. Our kids come from 85 or so zip codes, 88, depending on the year, around the city. And it's a, broadly diverse community of faculty and students and parents who meet each other on this piece of property and share in common what we call habits of mind. They are bright and curious and motivated. I often tell folks in admission presentations, this is not a place to send your child to get motivated. This is a place to send your motivated child. And our job is to make sure we keep opportunities in front of them that are engaging and keep them growing all the time. So the school's, I guess, unique kind of differentiator is really that it's 1,890 students who come together on this campus with a particular level of energy and drive and ambition that is unique to this place and adds an enormous kind of energy to it.
Well, and I hope the technology program adds some energy to the school, and we can help you sort of bring some an ambitious leader to the school, and maybe just talk about that, some priorities that are coming up, and really what's going to be a good, successful sort of early set of years for the next leader of technology who is in the executive cabinet
Yeah.
who is at a macro level overseeing a large team. What for you are some important things on the horizon?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, in terms of the opportunity that is here, it is an opportunity to work on a campus that mimics in many ways a small liberal arts college that has the resources to try things that other schools don't necessarily have the resources to try, or don't have the scale or the need to try. And so our systems, our ways that our databases are knit together, the way that we're using data, the security and cybersecurity and those kinds of things tend to be kind of best in class. And tend to really offer opportunities, I think, to our folks in IT to work with equipment and with outside professionals and with ambitions that are really unique to this place in independent schools, at least. I think the number one thing that we need in a new leader in this realm is the technical and technological aspects are well covered by a really super expert team that has many of whom have been around here for a little while and helped build this system and this process. We really are looking for a team builder and someone who's got some really strong skills around organizational development, building the team, getting the best performance out of each one of the folks there, doing the professional development work that allows them to stay kind of cutting edge. It's a place that expects a lot of everyone who works here. That's why people want to be here, is for that challenge. And there's only one place that we're going to get that synergy built on the IT team, and it is from the CIO. And so that is first and foremost really what we're after. Certainly don't want to be dismissive of every other important technical and technological challenge. And there certainly are a lot of them, but we have a lot of resources that either in employees who are here or partners that kind of come alongside us with those things. But as I said, there's only one person that's going to build that team, and it's the CIO.
No, it's well said. Final question, and just thinking back to, 2013, Keith, when you were looking at Westminster and you knew this was the only place you wanted to be, and here you are, you're stepping down at the end of this year, and you know a lot more about the school.
Yeah.
What would, having been there for about a dozen years, what do you wish you had known when you first started? That might, the kind of thing that for someone who's going to step into this role, if they don't happen to know much about Westminster and they're going to step into a similarly big leadership role, just anything about the culture, kind of how the clock works behind the curtain, if you will, that just are, something either cool or unique about Westminster that would be a great sort of,
Yeah.
hit the ground running type of
Yeah. Yeah.
approach.
Well, I'll tell you how I looked at it when I came here, and I would recommend actually to, the right sort of person that they put it through a similar filter. I mean, my interest in when I came and first visited actually had little to do with anything that I saw on the ground, any really great thing, anything that wasn't so great. Like I wasn't really interested in any of that. What I was really interested in was how ambitious the people that I'd be working with are or were at that time and continue to be at this time. And, they showed off aspects of the school and I, was interested and that was great. And they pointed out things that they thought needed to be changed or fixed. And I thought all that was great too. But when push came to shove, we were sitting around a table. I was like, look, all that stuff is fine. And frankly, if all of it was good, that'd be great. And if all of it was in bad shape, that'd be fine too. What I really want to know is how serious are you all? Like how much how much ambition do you have and how much drive do you have and what kind of risks are you willing to take to get there? And they said, we're ready to go. And I said, all right, then that's the only thing I care about. All the rest of it is details. And so that part of the school has proven to be true in spades. I mean, this school has been willing collectively to try and to do things that are very unconventional, very much not according to recipes that other independent schools use, has been successful in doing that and has not been risk averse in any way. And in quite the opposite, has been uh, driving a lot of new initiatives that I think have really made a difference around here. So, um, you know, I think that that piece I could say to any candidate coming on campus, as you would in any school, you'll see things that need to be improved. You'll see things that'll knock your socks off, and everything in between. I always do the pulse check on, but what's your will?
Yeah.
What's your ambition like?
Let me ask a bonus to the bonus question, if you will, because you brought up that sort of, culture of ambition and drive, and I can definitely feel it. You see that a lot in corporate, but what, I think unique to schools or what schools bring is also that collegiality and community. How does Westminster balance that, or how have you observed a school that does have such drive within the individual players and collectively, and yet still has this, I think, culture of we're a school, we are a community,
Yeah.
and we don't let that ambition create, sort of negative friction, if you will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, my sense of that is that those two things are seen as either in conflict with one another, or opposite of one another. And I think actually what we find is that the people around here are extremely diverse in terms of where they come from and the way that they think and that kind of thing. But they are like-minded in terms of that kind of sense of loving challenge, loving ambition, wanting colleagues to collaborate with that have the same kind of touch points, and wanting to create a very caring community in the midst of it all. And so I actually think that the ambition piece of it for us is not something that's cutthroat. It's actually the connective tissue. It's the thing that actually gets people excited about working together. Like, I have got a group of really, really smart colleagues who are smarter than I am in many, many different ways. And there's not a day I'm going to show up here that I'm not going to learn something new from being here. And there's never a day that I'm going to show up here and have someone tell me, well, that's not how we've always done it. That just isn't, it's not in the vocabulary. And so people get excited about that, and I'm often very clear with people, both in interviews and admission things and so forth. Like, you got to be built that way to love it. And if you are, you can't imagine being anywhere else. It's exciting and it's motivating.
Well, I hope this is exciting and motivating to somebody out there who indeed has that mindset of, we can do it, let's go, or can get better. And also, to your point, that is actually a fuel into a collective mindset, or sort of a I want to work with that team that is also sharing a similar mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time so much, Keith. Thanks for spending a few minutes here, and it's been great to work with you on this search.
Yeah. Thanks, Gabe.